Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're looking at the hard science behind something you probably have in your kitchen right now. And it's pretty incredible benefits for women's health, from period pain all the way to menopause and beyond. So let's just jump right in with a pretty bold question. The idea that a simple kitchen staple could be more effective than ibuprofen for period pain? I mean, that sounds a little too good to be true, right? Well, what if I told you a clinical trial put that exact question to the test?
So back in 2015, scientists at Azad University in Iran set up this really clever study. They took 60 young women who all suffered from pretty significant menstrual pain, and they did what's called a crossover trial. That just means everyone gets to try both treatments. So for a while, one group took ibuprofen and the other took extra virgin olive oil.
Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting. After 2 months, the women who were taking ibuprofen reported that their pain dropped to about a 3.8 out of 10. That's not bad, but look at the olive oil group. The women taking 25 milliliters of olive oil a day, their pain absolutely plummeted to just 1.1. That's not just a small difference. That is a huge, statistically significant win for the olive oil. So you have to be asking, how is that even possible, right? How can a food, something you cook with, outperform a well-known pain relief drug? Well, it's not magic. It's actually biochemistry. It comes down to a really powerful compound that's hiding inside the oil. Let me introduce you to oleocanthal. It was discovered back in 2005, and it's the stuff that gives really good olive oil that peppery kick you feel in the back of your throat. What researchers realized is that this unique little polyphenol works in the body in a way that is strikingly similar to how ibuprofen works. And here's the play-by-play. When you consume it, oleocanthal goes to work and actually inhibits these enzymes called COX-1 and COX-2. Now, those are the exact same targets as ibuprofen. By blocking them, it stops the production of prostaglandins, and those are the very things that cause uterine contractions and inflammation, cramps. So the end result is you're getting relief right at the source of the pain.
And what's so cool is that this anti-inflammatory superpower isn't just a one-trick pony for period pain. It has some really profound implications for other areas of women's hormonal health, especially for conditions like polycystic ovary syndrome, or PCOS.
For a lot of women dealing with PCOS, one of the biggest underlying issues is insulin resistance. It's a metabolic problem that can really throw your hormones out of whack and mess with ovarian function. And this is exactly where your diet, and specifically the Mediterranean diet, can be such a powerful tool.
And this number is a big deal. Reviews of the research show that when women with PCOS adopt a Mediterranean style of eating, where, you guessed it, olive oil is the main fat, they can see about a 30% improvement in insulin sensitivity. That is a major shift in a key factor that drives the whole condition.
Okay, so let's shift gears and talk about another chapter in a woman's life. It turns out that those same anti-inflammatory and metabolic benefits we've been talking about show incredible promise for supporting women as they go through menopause. A really recent study from 2024 looked at this head-on. It was a randomized controlled trial that found taking olive polyphenols made a significant difference in the overall quality of life for menopausal women. And we're talking about the whole range of frustrating symptoms: hot flashes, not sleeping well, mood shifts, all of it. But it's not just about managing day-to-day symptoms, as important as that is. The research is also targeting one of the most serious long-term health risks that really speeds up after menopause, and that's the loss of bone density. And the potential here looks huge. In one 12-month study, postmenopausal women who consumed olive polyphenols saw a 30% increase in something called osteocalcin. You can think of osteocalcin as the protein scaffolding your body uses to build new bone. So getting a 30% jump in that's a powerful sign of renewed bone formation. This support system also extends to heart health, which, as we know, becomes a primary concern for women after menopause. The big landmark Eurolife study found a direct link. The more polyphenols in the olive oil people consumed, the better their cholesterol numbers were and the lower their levels of damaging oxidative stress. Okay, so the science is pretty convincing, right? Across all these different areas of women's health. So you're probably thinking, great, I'll just go grab any bottle of olive oil off the shelf. But hold on, does the specific type of oil you buy actually matter? Oh, it matters. It matters a ton. We're not talking about a small difference here. The concentration of those active compounds, the polyphenols, can vary by a factor of 40 or even more. That standard bottle at the supermarket might have 50 or 100 milligrams per kilogram,
while a specialized high phenolic oil can pack in over 2,000.
So let's think back to that period pain study for a second. The effective dose they used was 25 milliliters of extra virgin olive oil every day. Now that's about a tablespoon and a half, and it clocks in at roughly 220 calories.
But check this out. If you use one of those super concentrated high phenolic oils, you can get the exact same amount or maybe even more of those active polyphenols in just 5 milliliters. That's just 1 teaspoon. So it's a fifth of the volume and only 44 calories.
So what this all boils down to is that the polyphenol dose is what drives the effect, not the total volume of oil. And as this table makes really clear, for every single one of these health goals we've talked about, a small, easy, practical teaspoon of a high phenolic oil can deliver the same therapeutic punch as those much larger doses of standard oil they used in the clinical trials. So based on all this clinical evidence, it really seems the answer is a big yes, as long as it's the right kind of olive oil. What we're seeing here isn't just a cooking ingredient. It's a potent, natural, and science-backed anti-inflammatory that frankly deserves a much closer look from all of us.